Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Lenovo Legion 5 15IMH05H. Alright, so the customer said the screen is broken. They sent me the laptop with the screen. We're going to remove all the screws from the bottom using a JAS1 screwdriver. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we got 4 here, 3 here, and then 4 here. Alright, again, keep them in order. Okay, I'm going to be replacing the screen, but we'll also go over the internal components as well, assuming I don't have to like pop out a whole bunch of stuff. It's missing a screw there. Okay. Alright, if this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, so we got all these screws out. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to pop the bottom cover off. Most likely on this one, the easiest way is open it up like this. I get my fingernails in here, and then I'll push with my thumb on the palm rest. Don't push on the trackpad, only the palm rest. Let's see if it'll pop out that way. Okay. You can see the bottom cover is popping out just like that, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Okay, and of course you can use plastic pry tools as well. I actually cut some of my fingernails, so it's making this harder to grip than originally. Usually I can just get them in the little gap here, but right now they keep slipping, so let's get in there. There we go. Okay, so we got the whole front popped up. We're going to rotate it and go over to the side here. So now that we got the front popped up, you can kind of pull up here, and then I just slide my fingernail in there to pop it. Then you got to get underneath this piece here. Okay, so let's see here and see if we can pop that. Okay, wow, these clips are strong actually. So let's go ahead and flip it over to the other side and continue pulling and popping this out. So just like that. Okay, let's see if we can go from this side. This side I can get my fingernails in a little bit easier. There you go, we got that popped up. And then we got to go around the side edge here. Okay, that's going to be tough it seems. Let's see if we can pop more of this side up. Okay, jeez. Okay, there we go. Got my fingernails in there. And now we can pop that up. So now all we have left is this back piece, which is kind of being stuck there. So as you can see, we can flop this. I'm gonna try and like grab the cover and then kind of move it that direction as we kind of pull on it. And there we go. All right, so you can see I kind of pulled up and twisted it that way, and it popped off. And there you can see inside. It is quite a bit dusty on the fan, so I am going to have to take that out and clean it up. Let's go ahead and get a screenshot here real quick. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to disconnect the battery. So let's go ahead and get these screws out. It looks like we're going to need a JS0. Okay, so let's switch over to a JS0 screwdriver so we can remove these screws for the battery. Actually, we don't need to remove the screws for the battery, I don't think. Let's go ahead and try and just remove the battery connector itself, because to remove that, we're going to have to remove a whole bunch of stuff, it seems. Let's see. Maybe we can... Yeah, it's all JS0. So, let's go ahead and... I guess let's remove this cover, because we're going to need to see other components there. So we got these 3 holding this metal bracket in place. Okay. Alright, once we got those 3 screws out, we can go ahead and lift this up. You can see there's a thermal pad there, so be careful not to get that too dirty or anything. This looks like a cheapy aftermarket, or I mean cheapy generic SSD. This is an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. Just like every other model, one screw, it pops up slightly and then you can pull it out. Okay, it looks like we are going to have to do that to get to the battery. So let's disconnect the battery connector first. So the connector has these two little wings here. I just use my fingernails and then I try and get that and wiggle it as I pull, and you can see it's kind of wiggling down. Ooh, this connector is actually in there real tight and there's not too much room. So let me try it with this tool on this side because there's not as much room on the left. And we're going to kind of just wiggle it as we pull. And it's coming out on the right side, but the left side's like really stuck. There we go. Okay, have to use a bit more force. And I think it's actually, this cable might be too stiff to remove it that way because it's not able to go backwards. So I think we do have to remove the SSD first, okay? Obviously you want to make sure the computer is off. Okay, and it is. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and remove the SSD here. One more screw, comes up at an angle, then we can go ahead and pull this out. Okay, we'll set that aside. All right, and now we can go ahead and remove the battery screws here. Okay, let me make sure you guys can see everything. Okay, so we've got this screw here. Again, keep all the screws in order. They are different size, shape, and lengths. 2, 3, and 4. Looks like you have to remove the battery to be able to get the regular hard drive, the 2.5-inch SATA hard drive out. But there we go. We can now lift this up, and then we can kind of pull this back. But let's go ahead now and remove this connector. It should hopefully pop out now. There we go. Yeah, it's too stiff to be able to take it out like without removing the screws and lifting it out. Here's the battery model number, L19M4PC0. So if you need to replace the battery, there's that. Right, we'll set that aside. Okay, so now to be safe, we're gonna carefully open up the laptop. And then we're going to press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. All right, so we'll press and hold that for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. This is very important when working with the screen. If you move the screen connector without doing this, there's a very good chance you can fry the backlight circuit, you can fry the screen, the cable, and a bunch of other things. All right, so make sure to do that. You won't damage it guaranteed, but there's a very good chance you will. All right, anyways, underneath the SSD you can see there's the keyboard connector here. There's this latch that you flip up to be able to disconnect it. I'm not going to do that for all of them, but you can flip that and then you can pull that out. Under here you see the keyboard backlight connector. It looks like it connects underneath the motherboard. You got the BIOS, CMOS, RTC real-time clock battery here. You got the touchpad, trackpad, whatever you want to call it, connector there. 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. You can upgrade this to a 2.5-inch SATA SSD. All right, you just gotta get this connector and transfer it over to the new one. Connects to the motherboard right there. You got this connector going underneath the motherboard for the USB port, as well as the 1-key recovery button and this, whatever you call that, the light. All right, then there's this, the 1-key recovery. You can use like a little needle or a folded out paperclip to push that, and you can go to like the boot menu, the BIOS, and all of that stuff. Then obviously you got the two fans, all right, one here and one here. They're pretty dirty. I'm gonna have to clean that. One's connected right there. The other one's connected right there. Wireless card. If you need to remove the antennas, you go from the tail and just pull straight up. Usually I don't like removing these because they tend to be sometimes not soldered well, and once in a while they break off. I actually had a customer that brought one. I didn't even do anything and it was broken off already. So be careful with those. One screw holding it in place. It comes out like the SSD. And then it looks like there's another M.2 slot here. I don't know if it supports PCIe NVMe or just M.2 SATA, because it looks like the the 2.5-inch SATA hard drive blocks this because the SSD runs along and it goes into this screw here, it looks like. Okay, so keep that in mind. That does look like another M.2 slot, but I don't know if it supports NVMe. It probably does, but no guarantees. All right, then there's this little connector here that has nothing connected. I'm not sure what that's for. And then we got the RAM under here. We can get underneath this little metal box. I use my fingernail. I'm going to hold down the motherboard here and then pry it up. Okay, wow, that one's pretty stuck in there. All right, then we're going to get this out, and here you can see 2 sticks of RAM. Pop the 2 tabs to the side. It pops out just like that, and we can take a look. This is an 8 gig PC4 3200 AA stick of RAM. So yeah, you should be fine with any PC4 3200 AA RAM. If you want, you can probably put 2 16 gigs or 2 32 gigs if you can even find that much. But yeah. Okay, usually there's not really a max limit. Even if you find something online, it's pretty rare that that max is actually a maximum capacity. A lot of times you can actually put more than that. Okay, then the only other thing I see here is the speaker. I see the speaker wire. It's going underneath here, and it actually connects, where's that? Right underneath the keyboard connector right there. Okay, so you can see that connector is right there. I'm not really going to mess with that, but the speaker has a wire going to the other speaker over here, and they're both connected to that one cable. All right, anyways, I need to clean this out, and then we are going to replace the screen. Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to clean all this dust out, and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. All right, so I'm back. Cleaned it up. Less dust inside now. All right, you can see the fans are all clean now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is replace the screen. So we're going to carefully open up the computer. Okay, we're going to get this bezel off. So usually the way I do that, I pull from the middle and then I kind of push in towards the center. Okay, just like this. All right, I believe this one had some stretch adhesives that hold it in place. Also, this piece is kind of falling out, so make sure you don't lose that. I mean, it's not important, but it just covers the camera. Okay, so if you wanted to have that physical cover. All right, I'm going to carefully pull this up. It helps to kind of rotate this and have it to where it's sitting vertical like this. Okay, we're going to carefully pull on this, just like that. Okay, just like this. Okay, this piece fell out. I'm going to have to put it back later. So we'll set the bezel aside for now. Okay. Okay, so the screen, it actually had some double stick adhesive strips, I think, if I remember correctly. Actually, maybe I'm thinking of a different one. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But the double stick adhesive strips, let me actually get some of this. There's some dust in here. So if it has those, they are stretch release adhesive strips that you would kind of grab and then you would stretch it upwards and it would remove those adhesive strips. I'm gonna sneeze. Jeez. Okay. So anyways, since we don't have those, they might have been in there, I forget. But we're gonna drop this screen forward like this. You want to be careful because there isn't much slack here, so you want to actually kind of hold the screen up. If you want, you can put something underneath. Maybe like you can get the battery here, put it under there, so that way when you put it down, it's kind of keeping it raised up a bit. Okay, we're gonna now remove this adhesive strip. So I use this plastic razor blade. You can kind of like pick it, and usually if I don't have this tool, I would just use my fingernail to kind of pull at it like a sticker and then peel it out. Okay, but use what you got. So yeah, all right, then we're gonna grab this and we're gonna kind of like work at it, slowly peeling both sides until we can peel it out, just like that, wiggling it, and there we go. Okay, there's a metal latch here that we are gonna have to flip up. Let me actually zoom in here to show you guys better. Okay, so there's this metal latch. We're gonna flip that up just like that. Okay, and then I push at the bottom of the latches with my thumbnails to pull the connector out just like that. Okay, so the screen model number, if you need it, is somewhere here. Okay, so it's right there. itsbinhrepaired it looks like, HW1A. So if you need that information, there it is. Okay, we're going to open up the replacement screen and see what they got. So the replacement screen customer purchased. I'm going to open it up. Let me actually zoom out here a bit. What is this? Okay, looks like some weird kind of tweezers that I've never seen before, plastic ones. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and get the screen. It's all in this bubble wrap. I want to be careful because I don't want to get the static into that connector there. And you do want to keep yourself grounded so that if anything happens, it won't damage the computer, okay? Alright, so, sorry, we're just unwrapping the screen. You can fast forward if you want. You don't have to stay and wait for me to unwrap this whole thing, but it's kind of annoying to keep pausing and restarting the video, so you can just fast forward through. Okay. So it looks like they included the stretch release adhesive tabs, and yes, it did have two. So it looked like there were two long stretch release adhesive tabs, and the screen that they purchased actually came with them. So you can see they included these two. Okay, I think I actually have the old ones I can put back. How do I get this stuff off? Okay, I think it's wrapped here. So we got all this stuff here. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna get this thing off, so maybe I should just pause the video for a bit, get this thing out. Oh, they made a nice release tab here for me. Okay, so we got that. We're just gonna unravel all of this. Okay, nice. Okay, so it has all this stuff to hold it onto the cardboard. Nice. Okay. Jeez, what the... Sorry, this video is becoming a whole bunch of time just unpacking this old screen. But, I mean the new screen. But there we go. Okay, so we got the screen all unwrapped. And it comes with that. We're going to move the battery out of the way for now. We're going to peel this guy open. Okay. Peel that open. Okay. Let me see if I have the other stretch release adhesives. They also put this foam padding here to protect the screen. So let me go check if I have the other ones, and yeah, I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. I think I remembered those adhesives actually got messed up, so we are going to use the new ones. Okay, it's good that they included it. Of course, like I said, these adhesives aren't really necessary. The screen that they got is actually different, so if you want to see, model number here is NV156FHM-N4K V3.2, and they wrote on here compatible with Lenovo Legion 5, 144 Hertz, 1920 by 1080, 40 pin. All right, so this adhesive, what you're gonna do, you want to peel it off to find out which goes first. I think it's gonna peel off from the, is it gonna peel off easier from the blue side or the white side? It should peel off from the white side, but look, it's like stuck. So I don't know if I'm even going to be able to use these adhesives. Let's try. Okay, let's see. Can we peel off the blue side first? Maybe. So what I'm going to do is I will peel off the blue side of one of them first, because the white side doesn't want to come out. And then let's see if I can stick this on and then peel the clear side off. But something tells me we're going to have some trouble. So it has this little black strip here where it goes, and the very top of this goes up here so that you can reach it to pull it out later. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get that up there. line it up, and then I'm just going to work my way down, line it up, and hopefully this will go in right. Okay, so actually this adhesive strip is super long. It's going further than the it's longer than the actual computer, so I might have to trim it a little short, but let's see if I can separate it. I probably should have cut it with scissors first to separate. Okay, there we go. It's coming out. It was just for some reason being difficult. But there you go. And then we have this strip, the leftover that's up there. And this, I don't know why, again, it's so long. So I'm going to have to just cut this excess off, I guess. So we'll use some scissors and we'll just cut the excess. Try not to crumple it, because if you get some lumps in there, that might cause some issues. And actually this adhesive is only supposed to go to that black part. So this part that's lower here, actually I should cut that out as well. So let's go ahead and get that out even further. And this is a stretch release adhesive. As you stretch it, it releases. That's why it's called a stretch release adhesive. Okay, and or that's what I call it. I don't know if there's another name for it, but there we go. Okay, stick that down. Okay, then we got the other side here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to peel it off. Okay, whichever side comes out first, and it looks like the blue side comes out easier for some reason. So, oh, actually on this one, the clear part is coming out easier. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so whatever works for you, whatever comes out easier for you. Uh-oh, I'm going to be in trouble here because it's sticking to itself. Don't do that, please. Go, let go, let go. Let go, or we won't be able to use you. Okay, this adhesive's probably not going to work because it's just sticking to itself. Let me see here. And now it's stuck to my hand. So this one was kind of not working right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this here because it's already plenty. Okay, and we'll actually take this excess. I'll take this tab that kind of came out. We'll cut that. Okay, and I'm going to stick this tab onto the other one, and hopefully we can use that. Uh-oh, stop sticking to everything. This adhesive is going to be difficult because it's too sticky to everything. Okay, so I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let go, let go, let go. Okay, I'm going to pre-peel the blue and see if I can stick it. So I'm going to stick this one down here first because it's being difficult. Then we're going to separate the blue piece. It doesn't want to peel off. So I'm going to do a little stretch release on the blue part. There we go. And we got this excess parts here. Okay, so we're going to hold this, and then we're going to stick that up there and get that in place. And try and get it as flat as possible. I know it's going to be tough. This adhesive is tough to work with. There we go. Oops, sorry, I wasn't even getting it in video. There we go. This one's a little bit off, crooked a little, so we're going to try and pull the excess over here. And that should be okay. Alright, so we got that in. We're going to now plug this screen connector back in. Okay, hold this up into place, get that, line it up, and then we're going to use the metal bar to pull it. Sorry, I know my hand's in the way, but I'm holding the screen up, so it's kind of tough to do it any other way. Actually, let me switch hands and maybe you can see it better this way. Okay, so we gotta pull that, make sure the connector is in all the way, and then push that latch down. Be careful not to bend the LCD panel, and then we'll stick this back in. We're gonna tuck this cable back in, and then we're gonna have to line this up and get that into place. So this might be a little tricky because once it sticks down, you're gonna be stuck that way. So we're gonna rotate it this way. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold the screen, rotate it slowly. Okay, and then I gotta get this lined up with the red pads there. Okay. This screen actually looks like the connector might be slightly off. So let me show you what I mean. I don't think this is gonna work. So if you look at that one and we look at this, actually, is it this? Okay, yeah. If you see what I mean, this connector is slightly further over this direction. And then this one is slightly more this way. There's not enough slack here for me to put this screen into place. And because of that, I don't think we're going to be able to get this in. So I'm probably going to have the customer, the customer's probably going to have to send this back because it's not going to work. When I go to try and put this in, because there's not much slack, right? You see this? I can't pull it all the way over. Well, maybe I can. It's kind of forcing it a little. It might end up causing some problems. I don't know if I should. I guess once I get it far enough in there, I can kind of pull it over to the side and it will go. But I feel that's a little bit risky because there's force being put on this cable. So I'm not going to leave it that way. I'm actually going to take the screen out. I'm going to let the customer know. I'm going to see what they want to do because I don't think it's a good idea to put that screen in there. Let me actually take this out completely to show you what I mean. Okay, so we got this screen out. We'll get this one here. You can see these edges are completely lined up, but look how much closer this one is over there. So I don't know if let me see if I can somehow measure this. So we got that guy. That's probably about 1/2 centimeter difference or so, almost. Starting from there. It's like 3 or 4 millimeters difference. And that's causing this cable to have to like strain to pull over. So I don't know. Give me a second. I'm going to contact the customer, let them know, and see what they want to do. Alright, so I'm back. So because of the issue, we are going to be putting, well, we're not even going to be putting back the old screen for now. I'm just going to be wrapping this new one back up to return. And then I guess the customer asked me to just order one because they're worried if they order again, they're going to order wrong again. So I'm going to be ordering a replacement screen using the exact model number of the old screen. And yeah, don't use this kind of model number if you go and find a screen. Or if you do, make sure that you find out the length from the connector. Because again, if I line this up, you can see it's a few millimeters further in. Let me see if I can measure this for you guys so you can see. I'm going to start at the 1 so I can check better. So the very edge of the connector should be, I guess if I start here, at the 70 or 7 centimeters or 70 millimeters. If I measure this one from this point in, I'm not talking about from outside here, I'm talking about from this little chip here. Okay, so if I measure from there to this one, then this one we are getting, let's see here. Wait, is that right? Okay, so if I measure from this, going from there, we get about 80 to the edge of this piece. And if we go, or sorry, it's not really 80, it's because I'm starting a centimeter ahead. Then this one we get 0.2. Yeah, so this one we get like 72 millimeters or 73. So it's a couple millimeters further. And if we go from this way with the whole screen, this is hard to measure. I need a different type of measuring tool. But if we go from this way, then we get to 12, 13. Okay, I'm going to measure the original one because that's more important than the fake one. So than the aftermarket, quote unquote, compatible one. So to the edge of there, it's like 10, 11, 12. It's like 11, so 115 millimeters or so. So anyways, just let them know that you want to make sure, because the connector, if it's off by a little bit, it can cause a big difference. All right, that's it for now. You're gonna see this all stitched into one video. I'll see you guys when I got the correct replacement screen. We're gonna put this all back together, and I'll see you then. All right, bye. All right, so I'm back. We got another replacement screen. Let's hope that this one doesn't have the same issue. Okay, so I'm gonna set the bezel aside. Let's go ahead and grab the replacement screen here. Okay, it's in this box. Let's cut it open. Okay, since all this paper stuff is sticking to it. Okay, set that aside. Let's go ahead and open this thing up here. Came all wrapped in bubble wrap here. Okay, take it in. And hopefully this screen isn't going to have the same issue as the first one. As you can see, oh, there's tape stuck to it. So we're going to have to peel this tape off. Okay, this one looks more similar to the original one because it has all silver and then the 4 little holes. So hopefully that's a good thing. You can see it's a BOE screen. I'm going to have to check the original screen to make sure. Man, I hate how they tape this. They need some release tabs on here to make this easier to peel off. Okay, so there we go. We got that out. They have this foam in the middle. And we'll set that aside. And let's go ahead and check that. And I think is this the original screen? Yep. Okay, so here's the original screen. The original screen is, does it say? This is AU Optronics, so instead of BOE. But, oh no. If we line this up, you can see here, it's not lined up right. Okay, so I'm gonna have to actually send this to the seller and show them because that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna have to line up both, and that's not good because the person that I got the screen, they were saying also that they didn't want to have to buy it, or they didn't want to buy it because they got the wrong one already and they didn't want to have to do it again. But it looks like I'm gonna have to now do the same thing. So you can see that and line it up, and it's not lined up right. So I need to take a picture of this, send it to the seller, let them know the screen is too far over to the what do you call? I guess it's too far over to the right. Okay, so I'm gonna send that to the seller, and yeah, I guess that's it for now. Again, we're gonna have to wait till we get a screen where it's closer over so that the cable will plug in without being stretched out. All right, I'll see you guys later again. All right, so we're back with this Lenovo Legion. We got another screen. Let's go ahead and cut this thing open and see what we got. All right, so this time, if the cable or connector spot is still off and in the wrong spot, we're gonna basically give up, and we're gonna just try and use the cable because we have no other option. We'll pull it over slightly and hope that it doesn't end up pulling itself back out and causing damage. But the customer said, I mean, if that's our only option, that's our only option. And it's already been, how long? More than a month? Probably close to 2 months now that we've been trying to get a screen. So let's go ahead and roll this up. There was a seller that told me that they could get one, but it's like backlogged or back ordered. So we decided after waiting like several days, and they said they still had no update, it's still on backlog. I guess the screen is probably discontinued or something. So hopefully this one will be lucky. All right. We got all this stuff wrapped on here. I guess I can kind of just wrap this stuff on this and try and keep it all. You can fast forward over because obviously this is just unpackaging the screen. I'm trying to save this stuff in case I need to repackage it or something, so, and ship it back. But hopefully it'll work this time. Okay. Again, you can just fast forward over this part. I don't even remember how long ago, what happened or where I left off last, because it's been so long that I worked on this model. Okay. So hopefully we won't run into any weird issues. Okay. Wrap this all up. Jeez, they wrap so much of this stuff on here. I wonder why they do that. Maybe it's so it doesn't get unwrapped and inspected or something? I don't know. It's so much extra work to take all this stuff out, and if they take it out, it's going to be, I don't know how they would wrap it back. That's my guess on why they wrap stuff like this. Hopefully that's a sign that it's going to be a genuine, like, same exact model. Because, I don't know, I feel like when they stop it at customs or something, it's usually because they don't want brand name stuff going out or something. So let's see what happens. Okay, we're almost there. Again, sorry for all of this. I just wasted like 3-4 minutes of your life unwrapping, unboxing this dumb screen. Okay, oops. Okay, we're pretty much done. Okay. Alright, then we got all this. This I'm just gonna probably break the tape. Okay, well, I guess it's easier to peel it. And you want to be careful if you have packaging like this, because if you cut the tape and you accidentally poke the screen inside or something, then you're gonna not have a good time. Alright, so we're gonna peel this all up. Open that guy. Alright, and then they tape this on here. Repair opening pry tool gift. Is that what that card is? Jeez, they packed this thing so well. They like taped it up on every single side. I'm scared to even, I don't know. The box got dented a little because they put the DHL like plastic bag on the outside. So I guess they probably didn't think it was that fragile. I don't know, the corner was a little dented of that box. But other than that, everything looks good. So hopefully we won't have any issues here. Jeez, okay. Here we go. Got that guy out. More packaging to set aside. Alright, then we got this that we gotta tear open. Be careful not to put a lot of pressure on the screen. Oh, I guess they wrapped this as well. Jeez. Okay, so carefully flip it. Pull this open. Okay, There we go. We got these two. And they gave us new adhesive, but I already have adhesive there because I put the old ones. So they have these, use these cards with alcohol to disassemble LCD. Install it very professionally. Okay, I guess I'll save those for something else. Anyways, we'll take the screen out. Okay, this screen actually, okay, so this is the old one, and the new one. Oh no, yeah, it's still off by like a few millimeters over, as you can see. So we are going to have to pull the cable inwards a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Let me see if there's any slack at all that I can move from in here. I don't think so. Yeah, no, there's, how would I even get to that? I guess let's flip it over. Let's open it up. So the screen cable's right here. Okay, I'm gonna just try and pull it over a little bit. Let's see if I pull this guy up. And they have this tape thing here. I don't think this tape is really stopping it from moving, but let's go ahead and peel it up. Okay, and try and pull it over to the side a little bit. It moves like barely any at all. So I don't know. I feel like it's not gonna work, but let's go ahead and try, because this is the last try. We've had so many screens and they're all with this connector too far over to the center. So we'll just see. All right, so get that cable in. All right, get the cable in. And hold the latch up. This can be a little tricky. All right, if you're wondering, I already got the adhesives in there holding. Okay, so click that. I felt it click into place. Okay, so what I did was I held this up and I used my 2 fingers at the outer edges to pull the connector in all the way. Felt it click. We'll click this down. Okay, this should kind of click around the edges, but it kind of doesn't want to. All right, then we'll tape this up. All right, if you're wondering, we put the adhesive here, so that one and this one, it's already sticky there. Okay, give me a second, I need to check my messages real quick. Okay, no, we should be fine. All right, let's zoom out a bit more, and oops, you don't need to zoom out that much. Let's see how we can get this back in. So hopefully it's far enough over. We're gonna have to basically drop this in. So I'm gonna rotate this and lay this on its back here, so we have a little bit easier time getting this screen into place. Okay, so hopefully, maybe now that I pulled some of it up out of the thing there, maybe that will help. I'm gonna line up the corner here. Okay, so I'll line up the top edge and the other edge here, and actually we need to line it up with this one down here. Okay, so we might be okay, because it looks like if we have this all pulled up, it might reach a little bit further. So we'll get this side in with that red piece resting on there, and the other one, the red side piece, resting on there. Okay, and then we'll slowly lay it down, and it looks like that might actually work. Okay, all right, so yeah, I think that actually worked. So pulling that excess up out of this place did help. All right, so next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna plug the battery in and power it on, make sure everything's good. Okay, so the battery cable's here. The slack is not much, so I don't remember if I had to unplug it, or remove the connector or not. Let's see, I think we can actually get it in like this. Okay, there we go. And then we can pinch the 2 pieces together. Then let's go ahead now and power it up. Power light is on, screen is turning on. Oh, it turned back off. Okay, I think the battery acts as the CMOS BIOS battery, so it's restarting, and it looks like we're good. So I guess I could have just used that screen all along. We tried checking so many different ones, probably for nothing. Okay, it might show user information, so I'm going to hold that out of view and keep the screen tilted back. Okay, it's not touchscreen, and it looks like it's good. So one thing to do after changing out the screen, you do want to restart the computer one time. So I did do a restart because sometimes it needs that to check for the new screen. Okay, so we got the bezel. We're gonna have to put it back in. This piece came off, so we have to line that back up. Okay, get that back in. Okay, so I'm gonna line it up with that piece. Does it go on top? No, it has to go underneath. So am I lining this up wrong? What's going on here? Am I doing something wrong? Okay, there we go. I think. No. Okay. So this side goes underneath. I don't know if you can see. Focus, please. So that side goes underneath that tab, and this side goes on top. So when it slides, it goes over that tab. Okay. So we just got to get this all lined back up. Let's actually peel off this screen protector thingy. So when you peel it off, you want to actually roll it off like this. Okay, don't pull straight towards yourself. We'll roll it off. But let me make sure to shut it down all the way first. Okay, shut down. Okay, so it's shutting down now. So again, you want to roll the screen thingy off. Okay, just like that. All right, oops. Just like this, roll it off. Okay, there we go. All right, so next part, we got to put the bezel back on. So we got this piece that we need to make sure to snap back in. Okay. How will I show this? Because the thing's gonna fall over. Okay, so we got that. Line this all up. Okay, hold that in place, and there we go. Okay, good. Oh, I need to slide it over to the right. There we go. Line that up. Click that into place. Double check this works. Looks good. All right, then we're just gonna go along the outer edges on the top. Click it all down, just like that. Okay, and click this in, the outer edges again. Get your hand behind so that you can put pressure back there as you kind of slide your thumb along the bottom edge, clicking it all in. All right, and then go along the top as well. All right, and there we go. We got the screen all back in. Now we just got to get the bottom cover back. So there you go, looks good. Close that up and get the bottom cover, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. All right, so we're gonna pinch this all together. Make sure that's all in. Good. All right, this, even after I cleaned it, looks like still has some dusty looking stuff from the fan area. All right, and that looks good. We just got to get back all the screws. They were missing one screw. I found a screw that looks similar, but it's longer, so I'm kind of scared to put that in because I don't want it to push through the bottom of the cover. So we're gonna just leave that screw missing, I guess. All right, but other than that, you're welcome to stay as I get all these screws back in, but that's pretty much all there is to it. All right, I think in this case they were missing the one over here, but I'm going to leave the middle one out because it's better to have the entire outer frame secured than to have one of the outer frames missing, because that's the part that will pop out and open up. All right. And that's pretty much it. Get these last ones in. Okay. It might also be because I yanked that cable really hard to pull some extra slack out. Hopefully it will be okay in the long run. Okay. Maybe I can try putting this slightly longer screw in here and see. All right, looks like it works. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, make sure it turns on one more time, and we're good to go. All right, let's drop this. Bye.